Okay, class, I decided to make this video so that I could give you an example that had two negatives in the trinomial. If you remember from class today, all of the examples that we worked, we had one positive and one negative. So I want to give you an example like number 16 from the homework so that you can do problem 15 tonight. Okay, so here we go. The first thing, we're going to draw our box. Okay? Our first term goes in the top square, A squared. Our last term goes in this bottom right square, -3. I know that I will be combining these two boxes, and I know that that term is going to have a variable of a, and we just need to figure out what coefficient goes in front of them. Okay, next step, we're going to multiply this imaginary 1 in front of the a times the -3, which is going to give us 3. We're not going to worry about the negative sign at this point. This is a really easy one. The factors for 3 are just going to be 1 times 3. Now we're going to think. I know that when I multiply my two factors, I'm going to get 3. But now, when I combine these two factors, I want to get a -2. So how can I manipulate my factors? One needs to be positive and one needs to be negative. To do that, our largest number needs to be negative, so that's going to be a -3. And the smallest factor will be +1. Okay, so now we're going to plug these two factors into our box. It doesn't matter which box I put it in. So I'm going to make this one -3, and this one is 1. And since it is just 1, I'm not going to write it, but there's a 1 right there. Okay, now that we have our box filled in, we're now going to get the common factor from each row and each column. The top row, the common factor, we have a here and we have an a here. So there goes a. The coefficients are 1 and 3. So the only common factor there would be 1, so I don't have to write that one. Looking at the bottom row, there's an a here but not here. There's a -3 here and an imaginary 1 here. So I'll just go ahead and write it. So the common factor in this bottom row is 1. Okay? Now looking at this left column, common factors, obviously 1. And then for the variable will be a. So I'm just going to write an a here. This column, I have an a in the top but nothing on the bottom, so that they don't share an a. But they do share 3, and they both have a negative sign. So we're going to write -3. Okay? So my new binomial is going to be these two factors and these two factors. So let's go ahead and write that out. It doesn't matter which one is first. Guess I'll write it here. A -3 times the quantity of a plus 1. Now let's check our work. When I use the FOIL method to multiply these two binomials together, I should get our original trinomial. And let's see if we do. A my first term times my first term. A times A gives me A squared. First term times the outer term, so that's A times 1. That's just going to be plus 1A, so I'm just going to write A. My inner, negative 3 times A, so minus 3A. And then the last, negative 3 times a positive 1 is a negative 3. When I combine my like terms here in the middle, I get A squared minus 2A minus 3. And as you can see, we get our original trinomial. So it works. So I know that the correct answer is the quantity of A minus 3 times the quantity of A plus 1. I hope that helps you with your homework.